Transportation is the lifeblood of every modern economy. Its impact is far-reaching and its scope is dynamic, not only in regard to economic development and our livelihoods, but also with our lifestyles, our cultures, and the way we express ourselves and interact with others. Autoglobe Total Transport Program is the half-hour show that makes sense of all the issues and all the trends pertaining to the world of transportation. On Autoglobe, we understand that you are going somewhere. Watch Autoglobe every Monday afternoon at 2:30 p.m. and let's go places together. Only on this station. Autoglobe, a step ahead.
Hello there and welcome to Autoglobe, your total transport program. This is the show where we engage with influential and knowledgeable players in the dynamic and multifaceted world of transportation as we track the events, the issues, as well as the evolving trends in this very important sector of the national and global economy. My name is Austin Inyan. Friday, the 23rd of May 2025 was a very important day in the life of one of Nigeria's foremost aviation journalists, in the person of Mr. Wole Shadare. On that day, Mr. Shadare launched his seminal book, 100 Years of Civil Aviation in Nigeria, held at the prestigious Gulf View Hotel in Ikeja GRA in Lagos. The event was graced by no less than the Federal Minister for Aviation and Aerospace Management, Mr. Festus Keyamo SAN, as well as the Managing Director of FAN, the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria, Mrs. Olubumi Kuku. Other personalities who were due to attend but were represented at the occasion were Dr. Wale Babalakin, who was supposed to be the chairman and chief launcher at the occasion, Captain Chris Najomo, the Director General of the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, NCAA, Engineer Umar Ahmed Farouk, Managing Director of the Nigerian Airspace Management Authority, as well as Dr. Haro Demireng, former Director General of the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority. Welcoming guests to the occasion, Dr. Gbenga Olowo, who stood in for Dr. Wale Babalakin as chairman and chief launcher, talked about his long-standing relationship with Mr. Wole Shadare, describing him as a consummate professional and an insider in the world of aviation.
To be called to chair this event, not because I don't know about aviation, but my shoes are not big enough for the office of the chairman. Knowing what Tuji and Wole has been doing in aviation over the years, he deserves to pull a bigger crowd on than this. So I welcome you to this edifice. I implore you to please wait. We won't lock the door for the book launch. The book must be very rich in content. I haven't seen it and I haven't read it. But Professor Killer will do justice to that. So without wasting too much of our time, I welcome you very much and I hope you have a very good time. Thank you.
Also speaking, Mr. Wole Shadare expressed gratitude to the Minister of Aviation, Mr. Keyamo SAN, and others who found time to grace this occasion, expressing their presence as an endorsement and support for his years of contributing his expertise and experience to the growth and development of aviation in Nigeria.
This book is my little contribution to assessing the better future that I see for the sector. Therefore, I urge all stakeholders to kindly read the book, make further researches, and expand on the issue therein in the interest of the future. I also invited you here today to launch the Aviation Metric Colloquium, which we hopefully hold annually, bringing together decision makers to proffer solutions to many issues affecting the aviation industry. The colloquium is also expected to critique happenings in the aviation industry and how to tackle the many problems plaguing it. I urge stakeholders to key into this new initiative that will serve as a forum for exchange of ideas on how to build a better aviation industry in Nigeria. Before I take my seat, Permit me to pay tribute to aviation professionals like Captain Jerry Hapoy, His Royal Majesty Femi Ogunleye, whose Akiane Palace in Ogun State served as my library whenever I visited Kabiyesi before he passed August last year. Apostle Sam Akerele, Shola Adekola, a colleague of mine whom I share a very strong journalistic bond, and others that have sacrificed their lives for the aviation industry in Nigeria. The contribution of Chairman of my company Aviation Services Limited, Dr. Wale Babalakin, SAN, to the development of the aviation industry in Nigeria can never be overemphasized. Babalakin achieved a significant milestone with the expansion of the MME2 airport terminal, enhancing Nigeria's aviation infrastructure and experience. Not forgotten are the likes of former Director General of NCA, Dr. Aro Temori, Engineer Akin Olateru, Nigeria's first generation pilots, including Captain Bob Hayes, who I learned marked his birthday last week or so, Captain Deliore and Captain Orimonoye, as well as a former Acting Director of Finance and Administration, NCA, Sir Johnson Adekola, whom I put in IST, and one of the thoroughbred aviation for professionals, as well as aviation agency chiefs who are doing well to reposition the industry. Most especially, I need to recognize the contribution of the Honorable Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Mr. Festus Keyamo. Sir, I never gave you any chance of honestly doing what you have done so far. When you came in, I saw you as a great one. I said, this man is a lawyer now. Lawyer, they talk too much. But honestly, sir, you have really done so well. Very, very proud, including the managing director of FAN, I'm not so generous at praising people, but honestly, we have so many other things that I perform, and I want to believe that in the near future, our airports will be one of the best in the world. Well done, madam. Through the minister's visionary leadership, trailblazing policies, and unshakable dedication to excellence, he has elevated Nigeria's aviation sector to unprecedented global prominence. The minister has achieved many firsts in just a short period. Through his dedication to implementing the Cape Town Convention, the minister played a pivotal role in improving Nigeria's aviation rating from 40% to about 80% in a short period of time. Just yesterday, he was appointed as the chairman of the Council of Ministers of the Banjul Accord Group. The Banjul Accord Group Council of Ministers comprises ministers of transport aviation from 7 West African countries like Nigeria, Cape Verde, the Gambia, Ghana, Guinea, Nigeria, and Sierra Leone. Congratulations. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I will not take for granted in any way the sacrifices you have made to be present at this special occasion. I thank my adorable wife, Olutope, my children, Tobiloba, Tosin, Tofumi, for tolerating my absence from home in the course of writing this book. I also pay tribute to my sisters that are here today. They are here for some of the peace, right now, recognition. I also pay tribute to my mother and my father-in-laws that are here today. Mommy and Sheikh. Family members and members of Cheerful Life Foundation, headed by Justice Titi Layo Bello.
There were also goodwill messages from the likes of retired Air Commodore Ademola Onitiju, the president of the Aviation Safety Roundtable Initiative, as well as Mrs. Olubimi Kuku, the managing director of the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria, FAN.
It's indeed my pleasure to deliver this goodwill message on behalf of the Aviation Safety Roundtable Initiative, known as ART, at this special event for the launch of Wole Shadare's book and the commencement of the Aviation Journalist, the platform that offers to prefer solutions to Nigerian aviation sector challenges. The ART is proud to be associated with the bundle of history being unveiled today, a beautiful precursor to the grand celebration of the Centenary celebration being put together by the Aviation Safety Roundtable Initiative and the Ministry of Aviation and Aerospace Development with our own Honorable Minister as its arrowhead. We therefore see today's gathering of eminent personalities and operators in the Nigerian aviation industry as a significant tip of the iceberg. In the coming months, you will experience Centenary celebrations in almost all states of the Nigerian Federation and Federal Capital Territory. Our poster boy for today is a co-opted member of the Aviation Roundtable's highly celebrated 100 years of aviation in Nigeria planning committee, presently headed by Engineer Shirley Kiel. You've heard the bill said. Our dynamic Centenary Minister of Aviation, because that's what he is right now, Centenary, the Lord Festus Keyamos of Nigeria, will kickstart the nationwide celebration by unveiling the anniversary logo. And that will be followed by a series of activities in the states and the FCT. There shall be seminars, colloquia, and exhibition of antiques, during which debates, games, and the prospects in the Nigerian aviation, both civil and military aviation to it face that, will be thoroughly interrogated with a view to making recommendations that will place Nigeria at par and beyond the extant global best practices in the aviation value chain. Distinguished veteran aviators from the many segments of the Nigerian aviation, covering the regulatory institution and our Amazon, the facility providers, Mrs. Kuku and the rest, the pilots, distinguished pilots, engineers, aircraft controllers, the cabin crew, onboard caterers, ground officers, clearing agents, field marketers, and the airline operators will be prominently featured through the intellectual discourse and recommendations of strategies to move the Nigerian aviation to the next level. Of course, our minister, as I told you, is the arrow. The names and identities of the personalities and institutions playing crucial roles in the Nigerian aviation sector have been compiled to include both the living and posthumous honors and awards at ceremonies which, of course, our Honorable Minister, of course, will preside over. We shall seek out persons to be honored, and all those are integral to the huge celebrations that will take place in both Lagos and Abuja, to which all of you here are invited. And for us, in the Aviation Safety Roundtable Initiative, this beautiful event, put together by the veteran aviation journalist, is a tasty appetizer to the main dish to be served, and of which Shadare is part and parcel. We are proud to be associated with him. On that note, I want to thank all of you for being here So expect more. Thank you.
Today is not about fun. It's not about me. It's not about any one of us in this room, but it's really about the industry and the great work that has been archived in this book to help us move forward. I'll keep it short, I'll keep it sweet. I want to talk about the history. I believe the first aircraft to land in Nigeria that really set us forward was in Kano in 1925. And I recall seeing pictures of those images in the Hapoy library in Montreal. So they have a little museum and a library as well. But I do want to say that presently, hundreds of airplanes have traversed our skies daily, fulfilling aspirations, connecting families, and contributing significantly to our economic growth. However, the true narrative lies not in the numbers. Nigeria should take pride in how it's asserted control over our airspace and transformed it into one of Africa's most promising aviation markets. We have our challenges, but we need to celebrate our growth and our success. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, as we delve into Nigeria's aviation journey, we're not merely observing aircraft on runways, we're witnessing the evolution of a nation's ambition. From our colonial beginnings to our current status as West Africa's largest aviation market, every milestone narrates a story of determination and opportunity. Nevertheless, this journey has not been devoid of turbulence. Upon Nigeria's attainment of independence in 1960, we were faced with the pivotal question: how can we convert the colonial era infrastructure into a sovereign aviation power? Our national carrier, Nigerian Airways, emerged as a response, yet it soon faced challenges stemming from mismanagement and operational inefficiencies. By the early 2000s, we found ourselves at a crossroad. Either we adapt or risk obsolescence. This junction precipitated a remarkable transformation. The private sector took the initiative, introducing fresh capital injection, contemporary management practices, and a competitive spirit. I recall in a lot of meetings that I've attended with the Honorable Minister, one of the things that he says is that Nigeria is one of the many African nations where the private sector has single-handedly funded the airlines. So we need to give them credit for that. We've had companies like Airpeace and Arik who emerged to fill the void, but they've also revolutionized our aviation landscape. And the current figure sums this up. 39 certified airline operators, 31 airports nationwide, over 2,100 licensed pilots, and a workforce comprising of thousands, ranging from engineers to air traffic controllers to operators. Nigeria has emerged as a testament to the efficacy of market-driven solutions. Our aviation sector now contributes approximately $1.7 billion to our GDP. Private airlines are connecting our cities with unprecedented efficiency. And international carriers increasingly regard Nigeria as a critical market. Last year, we had over 16 million passengers traverse our domestic terminals and international terminals. And we had about 3.5 million international passengers. These figures are indeed impressive, yet there remains substantial potential for growth, as Mr. Shadare also mentioned. Esteemed aviation enthusiasts, the opportunity before us is unequivocal. While challenges persist, infrastructure deficiencies, regulatory frameworks, and other financing requirements, this should be perceived not as obstacles, but rather as opportunities. Each challenge facing our aviation sector represents a potential investment, awaiting realization. The forthcoming chapter of Nigerian aviation will be authored by those who recognize that our skies are not merely thoroughfares for aircraft, they are highways to prosperity. The inquiry is not whether to invest in Nigerian aviation, but rather how to engage in this transformative journey. And that is also the message that has been preached by the Honorable Minister in his policy thrust. Mr. Wole Shadare's book provides us with a perspective to comprehend how far we have advanced, as well as an examination of the flight path ahead. The industry and community as a journalist are evident throughout this book that we're all convened here to celebrate. Thank you for reminding us of our modest beginnings and for portraying a vibrant vision of the future. Mr. Shadare, I'd like to congratulate you again. To the rest of us, I must pose the question, are we prepared to accept Mr. Shadare's challenge? What investments are we willing to make to appropriately mold the future of the Nigerian aviation sector? How far will we venture to uphold the standards of this industry, which we hold so dearly? What sacrifices are we ready to make to position ourselves as the most vibrant aviation market on this continent? Mr. Shadare, I eagerly anticipate reading your book to find out whether there will be answers within. Once again, I congratulate you on this book and thank you again for the invitation. Thank you.
Transportation is the lifeblood of every modern economy. Its impact is far-reaching and its scope is dynamic, not only in regard to economic development and our livelihoods, but also with our lifestyles, our cultures, and the way we express ourselves and interact with others. Autoglobe Total Transport Program is the half-hour show that makes sense of all the issues and all the trends pertaining to the world of transportation. On Autoglobe, we understand that you are going somewhere. Watch Autoglobe every Monday afternoon at 2:30 p.m. and let's go places together. Only on this station. Autoglobe, a step ahead.
The review of the book, 100 Years of Civil Aviation in Nigeria, was done by a university don in the person of Professor Anthony Killer. Professor Killer's review of the book spoke volumes, not just about the development and growth, as well as the potential of the Nigerian aviation industry as a component of the nation's drive towards greater economic progress in the global marketplace and in the service of flyers and travelers in Nigeria, but also the pedigree, experience and expertise of its author, Mr. Wole Shadare. Mr. Shadare, who is currently the aviation editor at the Telegraph newspapers, is reputed to be the most traveled journalist in any discipline in Nigeria. He has traveled to over 85 countries on all the continents of the world. He also served as a one-time chairman of the League of Airport and Aviation Correspondents, LAC.
This book that we're here to discover today is a book that I think will be useful for all operators. It will be useful for those who intend to improve themselves, those who have any kind of stake in it, and for students. But like all social constructs after we're born, the life of a book will depend a lot, like every human being, on the people they meet in life. By ourselves, we're nothing. What makes us, what marks us, what makes us happy or sad, has a lot to do with the people we meet in life. That is that kind of meeting. This book has the potential of making us reflect and making us improve any kind of operation we'll find ourselves. But to do that, we must just do one very simple thing. It's a book. Read it. That's the whole idea. If we want to go beyond the very simple, it should lead to conversations that we talk about and we try to apply, even if we're going to disagree with it. But the first thing is to know it, and then have a full conversation. There is, what is that thing? Is that the program of the day that has snippets of the book and images from it? That's not the book, it doesn't look that way. To see the real thing, you have to hopefully buy. And where's Wole Shadare? Don't give anybody a book for free. Make sure they buy it. And let me, honestly, whoever they are, including family members, make sure, including your church members, pastor, not even you, sir. Make sure everybody buys the book, and hopefully those who buy it will go beyond the basic of reading. They will share it with others and hopefully discuss. We're going to see soon, as we all know, for other activities, but let me use this forum to say to everybody, happy 100 years of anniversary. Thank you very much.
I'm here today because really, I have no choice. People think, I'm just doing Wole Shadare a favor. He's actually the one doing us a favor. Because he has taken the wind off our sail. We are talking about 100 years of aviation in Nigeria, and you have a committed young man journalist kicking off the process instead of government. So he has just saved my face as Minister of Aviation. So rather than him thanking us for being here, we should thank you for doing this very great favor to the aviation industry. To write such an important book for the aviation industry. We should thank you so much. We should have been the one piloting such an event. But then, it is a testament to how vibrant this industry is. So vibrant that private individuals, retired aviators, they keep an eagle eye on the industry, on the people who run the industry. It's an industry where the retired people refuse to leave us alone. I've not seen any industry at all, none, where you see retired people keeping an eagle eye on the operators of the industry and see how they are doing. And I'm seeing the lovely faces here. I read them all the time. The various aviation groups made up of veterans whose opinions and interventions actually guide us and guide our policy formulation. So I want to thank you so much today for this. It is akin to parents who refuse to leave their children even when they get married. We keep an eye on them in order to make sure that they get it right in life. However, we take a lot of guidance from writers like Wole Shadare and a number of them, the aviation writers, and especially the veterans and most of these aviation groups. We read a lot of them. Now, I call my people and say, take a lot of guidance. We must be humble to learn. We must be. We are not in the position of learning knowledge. We are not. We take them, the ones that fit in fine, the ones that don't fit in, we can, discard them. But there's a lot of sprinkling of truth and good guidance in the interventions that you make in the aviation industry. And we love those interventions. Keep them coming. People like Wole Shadare, keep them coming. Keep criticizing us, keep guiding us. And we are well guided. We are really well guided by your interventions, and we love them. However, I expect that after such a book has been written, like in many fields, it should ignite debate to write other books. Other books should challenge a couple of things you have seen in the book. The book is not cast, all the ideas are not cast in stone. It should ignite the debates within the aviation industry, because this is a very robust industry. I've seen a few that I will also question. So I've read a couple of the books, and a couple of the things you wrote. There are so many stereotypes also within the industry, some of which you mentioned that I, as minister, have also questioned. Because I want to make a difference. There are many stereotypes. Because of this head mentality of civil servants over the years, no sir, we don't do it like that. I said, okay, tell me why you don't do it like that. We can't answer. Say, no, they just told us we can't do it like that. No, don't tell me that. As a proper lawyer, I want to ask why. Tell me why you are doing it like this. And I have deviated on some of those. As time goes on, I will engage a number of fora within the aviation industry, and we'll discuss some of those things. Freedom, fixed freedom, open skies. Oh no, you don't sign it like this, you don't sign this. Tell me why it is. Aviation has become very dynamic now. Your local operators are not running their routes. They have not developed the routes. And you're telling me don't grant open skies so much more. Why? I've said no. I'm just telling you I've said no. Because ultimately the people are suffering. Nigerians are suffering to go 18 miles over a route that is 6 miles or 6 hours. And you want to go 18 hours because you say don't sign open skies, don't sign open skies, you don't want to, you are keeping. No. Unless my people are ready to run those routes, then I will not grant any other person the right to run that route. But if you are not ready to run the route, you don't have the capacity now. Why would I develop your capacity and help you? Let somebody else develop the routes for us and create the market. Because sometimes you don't just announce to run a route and you see the plane full, the first flight. There is nobody that wants to start a route that does not run at loss for the first 6 months or 8 months. Ask any of the operators. And that's not easy. Somebody said the first flight he flew from here to Cameroon one time or where it was only one passenger because they had advertised and they would start. And they flew that passenger. Because they had other passengers who afford the return, so waiting at the other end. And the first thing is integrity. You want to make sure the flights are regular. So you will run at a loss for some time. So to create a route is not easy sometimes. But no matter the BASA you sign in terms of 5th freedom or 7th freedom or 6th freedom or those guys, ultimately you still come back to the minister to ask for the summer schedule. Do you understand me? It doesn't make sense. Ultimately the power still resides in you as minister to guide the process. We have BASA in London. I want to drop landing in Heathrow. Despite that the BASA says any point. The BASA says any point, but go and land in Heathrow now. They are telling you that for some reasons you cannot land in Heathrow. Despite the BASA. What prevents us from doing so you present open skies? That for some reason you can't land in Lagos and we're representing Lagos. It's as simple. Will you come and question me? Go and land in Cameroon. Of several, but it is my duty, it's my training the last 3.5 decades as a lawyer, as a senior, to question things and argue things. These are so many other stereotypes I am looking at. So I'm going to say, look, can we look at these stereotypes within the industry and say they are modern trends and we must adjust to also align with these modern trends across the world and to make sure that, for example, I said, when I told my peers, I said, why are these airlines coming and they are not patronizing our local caterers? I said, I said, not their discretion. If they want to stop flying, they stop flying. And we make it as a policy. You must. Look at some mundane things. It looks very ordinary. All the caterers are calling me and praying for me and giving me free food. Come there for the sake of come and take pockets of the work. But almost all the foreign airlines are compliant. Right now, I said I will not sign the summer schedule or winter schedule until I see your agreement with a local caterer that you have signed the agreement. Air France has complied, Delta has complied, Lufthansa has complied, Qatar has complied, Ethiopian Airlines has complied. All of them, almost all of them, one or two about first, they are all compliant. So the benefits of our local caterers, our air, these are policies that we are pursuing and stereotypes we are challenging to ensure that we remove this place further than we have met it. So that when I leave office, I will join the aviation roundtable, I will not go anywhere.
The official public presentation of the book, 100 Years of Civil Aviation by Mr. Wole Shadare was kicked off by Dr. Gbenga Olowo, after which the minister of Aviation and Aerospace Management, Mr. Keyamo, SAN, cut the tape to declare the launch open.
I will take just one thing away from Professor Killer's review, and that is buy the book and read it. He said there will be no exception, even for the pastor. Buy the book and read it. To launch this book, we will take 4 copies, and 1 copy for 250,000 naira. I'm sure when Wole comes around, he will do justice to the chairman launching of the book. Having said that, Wole permit me to conduct the remaining launching. I don't have any particular order here, but of course, tribute to whom tribute is due. Our minister is here. You are cordially invited not to launch the book, but to cut the tape. Closely followed by MD of FAN. Yes. This is
I have the honor, privilege to unveil this book, 100 Years of Aviation in Nigeria, by a very, very good writer, Wole Shadare. And because I'm a poor public servant, why am I they laugh now? Poor public servant, former prosecutor for the EFCC, former prosecutor who sent so many bad boys to jail. We don't make it public. I will make a very private donation to Wole Shadare.
Indeed, I must follow suit. As mentioned by the Honorable Minister, we would also support Mr. Shadare with the launch of the book in a private manner. Thank you very much.
One of the highlights of the book launch was a wide-ranging panel discussion on the theme Issues in the Growth and Development of Aviation in Nigeria. Moderated by Mr. Richard Aisebogun, the panel was comprised of such titans in the Nigerian aviation industry as Captain John Ojikutu, Air Commodore Ademola Onitiju, Mr. Chris Aligbe, and Dr. Alex Muba. The highly engaging panel discussion was followed by an equally vibrant question and answer session in which members of the audience expressed interest or concern about certain aspects of the growth and development of the Nigerian aviation industry. The launch of the book 100 Years of Civil Aviation in Nigeria by Wole Shadare came to a close with a vote of thanks by his wife, Mrs. Olutope Shadare.
On behalf of my dear husband, the convener of this event, I would like to express our heartfelt gratitude for your presence at this momentous occasion. The official launch of our book. It took a lot of effort to say this, and it took a lot of time, and it had a lot of implications also of the family, but we thank God for today. So your presence here is something that we really appreciate. I mean, it's a crowning glory to the effort of what our husband has put into this work. So
So we are deeply honored by your presence. General Minister for Aviation and Aeronautics, we appreciate his coming. The head of Parastatals under the Ministry of Aviation, we appreciate your coming, though most of them have come, but we really appreciate their presence here after their busy schedule, they were able to come. Our very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, my husband's colleagues from the press, we appreciate you because we know without you there was no visibility for this program. Those that contributed their presence with material, with support, financially, advice here and there where needed, we do appreciate you. And most especially, I must say, I appreciate my parents for being here. Thank you so much. My aunties, my families, my sisters, my brothers, my in-laws, my husband's colleague in the office, and the senior colleagues, every other person that is here, we appreciate you. Thank you once again for honoring us with your presence. And may this event not only mark the launch of a great work, but also inspire the kind of conversation and collaboration that moves our nation forward. Thank you, and God bless you.
We at Autoglobe are very proud to associate with Mr. Wole Shadare, a good friend of the program, on this monumental achievement. Indeed, his expertise and experience in the aviation industry make this a must-read for anybody interested in the past, the present, and the future of the Nigerian aviation industry and transportation as a whole. That has been our show today on Autoglobe, your total transport program. Thank you for watching, and until next time, this is Austin Iyan saying bye-bye. God bless.